All right, so last time I read, Amal's father was telling her that she should be happy with the education she has received. She doesn't really need any more.
Yeah, and how long has she been going to school?
She's in probably 6th grade.
Yeah, we still have 10 more years to go.
Yeah.
And some kids will have more.
Yep. When I walked into the kitchen the next morning, Seema was ironing. Why aren't you in your uniform? I asked her. You're going to be late for school. I'm staying. Seema, I got up early this morning to help with the laundry. You work the pile down, and when it grows up again higher than before. The chores are endless. You need me. Parvin and I will handle it. You have to go to school. It's not fair. Seema's eyes grew moist. How can I go when you can't? It isn't fair, but you can't fall behind since you only just began. I want you to go. Seema's eyes watered, but she slipped on her uniform. After she left, I watched her from the window. Hafsa would meet up with her a few steps out of my view. They'd enter the brick schoolhouse and settle into their desks and learn things I didn't know. I was the best student in my class, but soon Hafsa and even Seema would surpass me. The girls are still sleeping? Parvin asked as she stepped inside and closed the back door behind her. I nodded. Good, we might actually get a head start on all the things we need to get done today. Omar will pick up the cauliflower on his way home from school. We have enough potatoes, but I'll double check. What's wrong? Parvin came in and out, helping so quietly I could forget that she was there. But it was Parvin who always double-checked. We had everything we needed to prepare our meals and keep the household running. She was the invisible arm propping the family up. Just thank you, I told her. We don't say it enough. Thank you for everything. What is this thank you for? She asked. This is what family does. You'll get through this. Come here. She hugged me. Everything will be fine. I wasn't so sure about that. And I wasn't a little kid like Rabia or Safo who was easily comforted by her hugs. But with Parvin's arms around me, everything did ache a little bit less. How was school? I asked Seema when she came home that afternoon. It was good, she smiled. Do you need me to look at your poem? It's due Monday, right? Of course you have to look at it, she said. But you have your own to write. Seema, Abu isn't going to budge. He doesn't need you. What do you mean? She stuck a hand in her book bag and handed me a folder. What's this? I asked her. Take a look. I parted the folder, the poetry assignment, the spelling test, the math test. But Seema, I can't write a poem without a lesson on it. And how can I take the test? I'll test you, she said. I talked to Miss Sadia, and she agreed. As long as you keep up with your work and take the test, she'll keep you on the roster. I also promised her I'd take good notes and teach you the lessons myself, even the poetry lesson. Don't look at me like that. I can do it, and I'll teach you everything I learned because you are coming back. She gripped my shoulder. I read Miss Sadia's familiar scrawl on the first page. Hi, Amal. This is a lot I know, but if anyone can do it, you can. I'm rooting for you. I hugged Seema. I thought hope had vanished, but hope was a tricky thing. It found its way back to me. It's kind of like our, virtual learning now, right? The girls were busy watching television, and Seema and I were getting settled at the table to go over her notes for the day's geography lesson, when my mother's friend knocked on the door. I come bearing lattice this time, Fazia said, stepping inside with Miriam. Is your mother up for visitors now? She's still not feeling well. Now this is too much. She has to start meeting people eventually, Fazia said. Fazia was right. Something had to be done to snap her out of her fog. Maybe visitors would help. I stepped inside my mother's room. Amma, I said, Fazia and Miriam Auntie are here to see you and the baby. This isn't a good time. Her voice was dull. Even though the room was dim, I could still make out the circles under her eyes etched so deep, I wondered if time would ever erase them. Lubna lay swaddled tightly, fast asleep. It's what I was calling the new baby, though it wasn't officially her name. My mother didn't name us until we were a year old, and she knew for sure we would survive. I picked her up and cradled her in my arms. They only want to say hello. I'll straighten up the room a little and tell them to come in. I'm sorry, she reached up and stroked my arm. I'm foggy lately. I'll shake it off soon. I know you will, I managed to say. Her gold bangles from her wedding dowry, the ones she never removed because they were her most valuable possessions, clinked against her arms when she touched me. Her frame seemed smaller than it did a few weeks earlier. I drew open the curtains and put away the handful of clothes scattered on the floor. You can come in now, I told her friends. I was short. Okay, The Post-it note on your desk, I want you to write a character, a setting, and a problem. Yeah. A character, a setting, and a problem.
Any?
Yep.
So it can be like a setting, do you want like a different setting or do you want like a place?
Either one. Or both.
Wait, setting like a place where?
So setting.
A character, a setting, a problem. So it could be his zipper was down. I love that book.